Lolly, then it really was you? That man's not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumbled to the ground. I ran scared for my life. I think the big picture's finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So Miss Pope, she did shoot her own dad without even knowing who really was? If what she says is true. Are you saying she's lying? Why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You'd be surprised how often people lie without realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see.
Hold it!
Please calm down, let's slowly talk through this. But all you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search for the truth. Can you do that for me? Alright. So at the stadium...
Hold it!
That was the ransom money, wasn't it? Yes. That's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me. And what did he tell you? He called me on my cell phone and told me Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and run off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun? I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why did you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would try to shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. It's true. My father's left arm was raised with a... Left arm was pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, Father. Miss Porps, please calm down, take a deep breath. Would you please say the last please say the last statement one more time? Yes, of course.
Objection!
Wrong one. Even after looking at this, can you still claim what you said to me is true? Actually, I can. Ha! She showed you. Ugh. He's laughing pretty hard at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, I know, but I refuse to allow him to ruffle my feathers. I'm going to remain calm and collected and find my contradiction. Press it first.
Hold it!
And you felt your life was in danger, correct? Yeah, I'm about to die, Father. So...
Objection!
Oh, fucking hell, then... It's not polite to confuse poor hopeless girls, Mr. Prosecutor. So you have something significant to add, stuff that jabbert of yours in your mouth. It's a cravat and it's a fashion statement, not a gag. You shot Mr. Deacon. Miss Pops. Yeah, I shot him. Haha, and that, as I say, is that. Agent Lang, Miss Pops is far from done. She hasn't even finished her testimony yet. You're going to continue questioning her? What a waste of time. Miss Pops, if you please. All right.
Hold it!
Did you take off immediately following the gunshot?
Yeah.
And you didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot?
I was scared.
I don't blame you, I've done the exact same thing.
Poor Miss Pops. What will become of her, Mr. Edgeworth?
She seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession once more. I am very confused. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong angle. Is it this?
Objection!
Damn it!
Objection!
Oh my god, what the fuck is it?
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Objection!
Oh, fucking hell.
Hold it!
I am at an absolute loss for this. There's only one of each badger in the park. The head was left in the isolation room. Details on the badgers. God, I hate to do it, but I think I've got to look this up. Because I honestly cannot piece this together. Okay. It's this. He's right-handed.
Objection!
I have here a dossier on your father. According to this, your father was right-handed.
Then...
The person pointing the gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Is it possible it went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Porps was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in a court to catch it.
Enough of the smugness, out of it already.
Miss Porps told us earlier.
There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with 100 million in it.
The 1 million, not that many. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Porps?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. They had the huge sunglasses on his face. If that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction.
Yes, Miss Porps claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. They are both correct.
Impossible, that just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Porps' entire statement rests on the fact you saw his sunglasses and beard. What if the Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands.
Take that!
The costumes have two parts to them, the head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Porps saw was probably really just the head of the Bad Badger. However, it's not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger.
A different badger?
Yes, I'll put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger.
Take that!
What the heck is it?
It's
the proto-badger.
Yes, in a simple matter of process of elimination, Miss Porps was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one, and the pink badger is of the wrong colour, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto-badger costume. Miss Porps, who was the one who wore the proto-badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Knuckle back!
Are you saying what I think you are? Lance Armano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Porps while wearing that hideous thing?
The stage was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup, and its purpose was to lead Miss Porps into believing she committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Porps and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to go to do all that, huh?
There's but one reason, Lance Armano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon.
What? No! That's slander. Take it back.
You take it back right now.
Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed. What does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Miss Porps, her attacker held a gun in his left hand.
Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto badge is bulletproof. One misfire, he'd have found himself dead, right?
Of course, logically, if he'd been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he'd thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this is all the evidence you should need. This is how Lance made sure he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
This is where this comes in.
Take that!
We found one half of a Bad Badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun the Bad Badger carries, which fires blanks.
What?
Miss Porps, where's the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was, although I believe we can safely assume it was the model gun in question.
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I admit as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I'm right is very high.
Let's pretend you are right and the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
I knew you were full of shit.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He tied Mr. Deacon's security to the beam of the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time.
Then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard the plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Porps saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound so wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
Hold it!
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after I picked up the ransom money.
And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out, making preparations for our escape. I walked around various areas looking for the best route.
So each of them had their own roles to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout.
Hold it!
How did Lance look at the time?
Well, he looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw the sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. What of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
Hold it!
Are you sure it was Mr. Deacon you saw?
Yeah, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said he was best I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Are you telling me that you did not confirm it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. It just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a bad badger head?
Hold it!
So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger costume?
Yeah, and
It would appear she misread the whole situation. But now, shall I raise an objection? The person you saw was not the victim.
why not?
I'll tell you why not with this. This, Miss Pork, shows the person you really saw was not the victim.
Take that!
Miss Porps, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person. The person you saw tied to the beam was none other than... Wait! No!
Lance was the one who showed me the tied up person in the next room.
You're claiming the boy also somehow showed himself tied up to the beam? Are you serious? Or perhaps you believe there was a rip in the space-time continuum?
It wasn't that was tied up to the beam. I see now, I know who it was. The person you saw was most definitely not Mr. Deacon. The person you actually saw was this person. It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why'd the kidnappers abduct me even after I'd handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and run. But in the end, there was a point to it all, to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that were the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Porps a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended.
What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout, probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, he then escaped via the passageway.
Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in the tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
Tidal wave?
We heard a lot come from you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the case, Miss Porps would have still seen me tied to the beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go in the next room. So I really have no idea if you were there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
See? It would seem you can't prove a thing.
Ugh.
Who said that? Please wait.
Mr. Armano?
Oh, Miles, my boy, it looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad?
Let's see. You're the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yes, that's right. I'm sorry my son's been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, you do now?
Huh. Is that what I think it is? Oh.
It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun.
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears they were disposed of in the sea. Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There now. Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Armano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What?
The Chief of Police? What the? Who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. There now. There's no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
Yes, you fucking are.
Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't really matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Let's take a look at this new evidence. I already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified the blood on the costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they found were yours, Warren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This bullet hole.
It looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, the burn marks were left by gunpowder. That's a most important fact.
Why is that?
It's proof the victim was shot at point-blank range. What's this? Looks like there's something inside the costume head.
They sparkle. I bet it's really valuable.
Sorry, they're just pieces of a mirror. Why are they in here?
The broken mirror in the hideout.
Could this gun be the actual murder weapon?
Well, I mean, it's not the most definitive piece of evidence you've ever seen.
Thank you, Dad. That should be enough to convince even Mr. Hedgeworth over there. Make no mistakes, there are fingerprints on the murderer's gun, and they prove it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life, so Mr. Edgeworth, even if you see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense.
The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
No, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly, but in the end, all I can do is watch as she takes the punishment for her crimes.
That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You woo me. Why won't you believe me even in the face of all this evidence?
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Porps?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed.
I find it a bit peculiar.
Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
Should I raise an objection? Frankly, I don't believe Miss Porp's print should be on that gun to begin with. The reason why Miss Porp's could not be on the gun is costumes, right? But what proves that?
Let me hold it for a sec.
I shouldn't if you don't know how to handle it. Besides, Miss Porp's prints are on it.
Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. So I'm gonna run off with it. The only things I don't return are treasures.
Stealing even one would land you in jail, you know.
Take that!
Nope.
I should listen to the rest of it.
Hold it!
Sherlock Holmes, for someone who was accusing his own girlfriend of murder.
You have it all wrong. Allowing her to pay the price is a form of love. She says she also wants to pay back her debt to society, but...
Hold it!
And why do you believe the victim was set on taking Miss Porp's life?
I suppose because he wanted to silence her. To keep her quiet because she knows the truth behind the kidnapping.
In that case, why did he not target you as well?
That's because he knew if he killed me, he wouldn't be able to control my father. Right you are. Even if it cost me millions, I would have had the killer found.
I believe he didn't kill you for an entirely different reason, however, I digress.
Look, more than that, why didn't he kill me? I'm worried about what'll happen to Lolly.
Hold it!
Justified self-defense? I suppose it's a possibility given the circumstances.
Really? Oh, thank goodness.
However, self-defense was not necessary in this case.
What do you mean?
Miss Porps is innocent. She didn't do anything, so why would she need to defend herself from nothing?
You still don't believe a word I say, do you?
His entire argument hinges on the fact her fingerprints are on the gun. The truth does not lie there. It lies in whatever he's hiding from me, but not for long.
Hold it! Take that!
No, that's not it either. Shit. I'm gonna have to look this up too. It's on my last sliver of health and I ain't got a fucking clue. I'm sorry, I really am.
Hold it!
I had the right idea earlier, but presented the wrong thing. The fact they were all wearing costumes.
Take that!
It's simply not possible for Miss Porps to have left any prints on the murder weapon. While she was at the stadium, Miss Porps was wearing a costume.
Huh?
There's no mistake, we found fingerprints.
Well, Miss Porps, do you remember touching the gun at any point in time?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. There you have it. That is when Miss Porps' prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove Miss Porps is the murderer.
But you don't have anything to prove she isn't the killer, right?
You seem very adamant about insisting your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance! Well, no way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But it doesn't change the fact you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
The story is Miss Porps killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that's not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
Take that!
Wait, what?
Look, oh no, you're just chasing delusions. Let's stop wasting time, alright? You want to suspect me, Mr. Edgeworth, but you ain't got a single shred of evidence. Ugh.
Now. I say we let the courts resolve the rest.
A few days later, Lance was acquitted of all charges due to lack of evidence. Thus the truth was lost for all eternity.
Yes, retry, please.
At this rate, Lola's going to wind up getting arrested.
I must remain calm and think clearly. If the murder did not happen at the stadium, and the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Porps was down below, there must be something that invalidates it. Right.
I'm so confused. How does... Oh, the point blank kill. Right, yeah.
Take that!
Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you'll see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
You mean the murder Miss Albach saw at the stadium was...
She saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below on stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn.
Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. So you seem to know all the answers. Why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Lance sent me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were just before I was imprisoned was... I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house.
The haunted house?
Yes, I have proof that it's highly likely that the victim was killed there.
Take that!
These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. Fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? What does that have to do with anything?
Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there's a plethora of mirror fragments. And that's the haunted house. Lance Armano, I propose you kill Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house.
What is this, Cluedo?
After that, you stole the Blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this fact.
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Armano, but I can't do that.
Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop the boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Armano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Sinner, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house.
You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there?
But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
Probability? Langsy says only truth's path. Only truth's path. The word probability does not... Let's try it again. On truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place in the haunted house? The answer is no.
See? So since you don't have any, shut up!
I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people in the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove the murder took place in the haunted house, I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Sheena! I'm here. Put it in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Who was that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Romano,
Agent Lang, if you please take a look at this. What is it? Sheena? It's the deed to the haunted house.
the deed?
Read it aloud. Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the Haunted House to Mr. Armano for the lump sum of $1 million paid full in cash.
What?
As you can see, I'm now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you? I ran into the owner of the park and we made a deal immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That million you paid? Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it. You may as well have it back now.
You used the ransom money?
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping bit earlier. I do believe I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What's there to discuss? Permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Armano was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest the girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I lose my temper.
Mr. Armano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever.